What's up, YouTube? So today we're doing a Yakuza 3 remastered kind of analysis, reaction, analysis, then a reaction, or whatever you want to call it. I don't really know what to call it. It's more of an analysis. So how this is going to work is we're going to watch the trailer together, and while we watch the trailer, we're going to pause whenever we need to discuss it, and then we're going to dissect it right after we had to watch it the first time. So with that being said, let's get into this. I will pause periodically throughout the video. I will not talk over it, so here we go. Okay, so one thing I've noticed so far is it's looking a lot more clear and a lot more crisp than the PlayStation 3 version does. For those of you who haven't seen the PlayStation version for a while, go back and try to play the PlayStation 3 version. It looks okay, but it's really blurry and it's pixelated, and it kind of like it shows its age. The original PlayStation 3 version was made to be played on a big fat TV, not a widescreen TV or a widescreen monitor like what we have today. So when you go back to play those games on modern TVs, they look really, really bad. So I'm really thankful that this remaster is coming, because now we can play them and the way we played them way back then, because you know a lot of us didn't keep those TVs around. So that's kind of exciting. I still can't understand what's being written in these notes in the game because it's still very pixelated. But maybe when we're actually playing it, we're gonna be able to, you know, see it a little bit better. So, another thing I noticed just then is a lot of the models in the game are being fixed, like hardcore levels of fixed. Like Kiryu used to look real wide and broad and kind of weird, and it looks like they fixed the model. Although I know this is just a remaster, it's not a remake. It looks like a lot of things have been fixed, and I'm scratching my arm a lot because I have a pollen thing. I don't like pollen. My body doesn't react well to it, so now I'm like itchy all over because of it. But anyways, they fixed the models, it looks like, or at least, you know, maybe since they're being remastered in 1080p, they don't look as weird. I don't know. They look better. They look better. I like that song. Ooh, it's his father. Wow. Okay. I know it's just a remaster. But Jesus Christ, it looks so good. Like, I'm like holding everything in right now, trying not to scream about it. It looks so great. Everything's fixed. The frame rate is like non-existent. The voice acting kind of had like clipping issues on the original PlayStation 3 version, and from what I've seen so far, it's fixed. You know, everything, the little edges to drawings, they all look so much better, even though it's just a remaster. Going from 720 to 1080p, it's a huge difference. It might as well be a remake at this point because it's gonna be so much of a better game. So much of a better game. Every proper video game hero has a golf game. That's one thing we know for sure now. Jack has a golf game. Kiryu has a golf game. Everyone has a golf game. This part I can't remember because when I was a little kid when I played this game, because I played this game when it first came out, and I haven't played through much of Yakuza 3 since then, so I don't remember if this is new or not. I know I saw that they are adding a new hostess options. I don't remember if this was one of those or not. I can't remember that far back about the hostess because when I played the game originally way back then, it was just for the story, and I didn't really play it for, you know, the side quest. So I just played it for the story over and over and over again. So I never really messed around with this much. So I don't know if this is new or not, but if this is new, then this is really, really cool. And I kind of hope that when Ryu Ga Gotoku releases in a couple months, actually it's probably not a couple months, I'm probably jumping the gun, but the story in the game, it says it's set in 2018, so that would make sense for it to release this year because every Yakuza game always releases in the year that it's set in, so that would make sense. So if that is a thing that's happening and this is a new thing and this wasn't in Yakuza 3 originally, because again I don't remember, I never played the hostess parts of it, then that would be really, really cool to be able to create your own hostess in the game. With that being said, let's carry on. Can we just take a moment to appreciate how much better Tenkaichi Street looks now compared to how it used to look back on the PlayStation 3 version? Like, it's insane. Like, I remember playing the PlayStation 3 version. All these lights up around, oh, let me show you with the mouse because you can't see my hand. All of these lights here, I remember them looking all kind of like blended in together, like they weren't individual on the PlayStation 3 version. We should probably go back through and replay it on PlayStation 3. But this is just looking insane. I've never seen a remaster make this much of a difference like in the entire time I've been playing games. And remasters have only really been a thing since the PlayStation 3 era. So that being said, this is insane how much better it's looking already. Okay, so this is kind of like the first, I guess, NPC character models we're seeing, and back then on the Yakuza games, the NPCs didn't really look all that great, but it looks like they've been fixed. These NPCs look kind of close to how Kiryu's model looks. So that's actually kind of cool. If they've overhauled the entire game, even though, again, I know it's just a remaster, I know it's just an upscaling, but it looks like this upscaling might have a whole lot more added to it that they didn't even tell us about, because these models, they look amazing. I just want to say one thing real quick that I noticed like 2 seconds ago, when they were showing the fighting for the game, right? I feel like doing those arena battles now are going to be a lot better than they used to be, because it's in 60 FPS now, 1080p. It was in 720, like 30 FPS. Sometimes it would dip below 30. So I feel like now it's going to be a lot easier. Those are going to be a lot more fun. And with Yakuza blowing up lately, I really feel like that there's going to be people having channels just dedicated to the arena battles. And let me show you this. Look how bad the pollen's attacking me. I don't know if the camera picks it up, but that's insane. I'm like dying over here. Okay, I want to say one thing real quick. Now that we're onto this page, there's something that always annoyed me when I was learning Japanese first. So I wanted to show you was that, see these numbers? Okay, so this is the Arabic numeral for 3. Arabic numeral for 2018, 8, 9, and 4. 3, 9, 9, and 0. When I was initially learning, right, I learned these in the way that they were supposed to be written in Chinese. I think the lettering's Chinese. Actually, I'm not sure on that, but I think the lettering system was from China. Correct me if I'm wrong. But it was just like 1, 2, 3 lines, and it would be pronounced san. And I took forever to learn that. And now here we are, they just say 3. Same with 4, they just say 4. They don't say she, they don't say yon, they just say 4. So you know how long it took me to train my mind from saying she to saying yon, and then from saying yon or she to just saying 4? Like, it's just, you get in the habit of doing something, and then it's broken. The box art looks really good, like really good. I don't know if I prefer the white box art over this box art, but I know for a fact this box art is better than the American box art that we got. Because our box art was absolutely insane. It was horrible. It kind of looked really bad. It looked like one of those DeviantArt box art things you would find. It did not look very good at all. But I kind of like how in the remaster it looks like you're actually going to be able to read all the signs. Because these signs, like, it's not hard to read hiragana. It's not hard to read katakana. It's pretty difficult to read kanji, but it's not hard to read hiragana or katakana. And one thing I hated about Yakuza 3 initially, which it may have just been, the TV I was playing it on, but everything looked blurred, and it was hard for me to read this stuff because, Japanese isn't my first language, so everything looked squished together to me back then. So now it's looking like it's going to be a lot easier to read this stuff. Let's see and see if there was anything else that shows. No, it's just credit stuff. Okay, let me go back because there's something I wanted to show you, okay? Where was it? Hold on. It was somewhere, yeah, there it was. Wait for it to load. See, this scene, I remember very vividly this scene kind of being broken looking. I remember that very vividly. I mean, it looks like the facial features are still kind of broken in the people, but it looks like it's definitely been fixed quite a lot. And this part, where it's in an upscaled resolution, everything kind of looks better. Everything looks really better. Hold on, let me go back, because I wanted to show you what I was talking about earlier. See, this is what I was talking about. This was even harder to try to read back in, the PlayStation 3 days. Like, even now, I can't make out any of these kanjis, any of these letters. I think this one is me. I think I can recognize that one. Like, that one I'm pretty sure is me. I'm pretty sure this is Jin. And I can't figure out any of the rest of these. They're all broken. I don't know some of these, like the generic ones on this side and stuff. But some of these, it's just so hard to read, and I don't think, we're going to actually be able to figure out what this is saying until, the game gets Kiwami in a couple years. Because, I mean, let's be honest, on PlayStation 5, it would be very crazy if they do not get the Kiwami treatment for Yakuza 3, 4, and 5. Because think about it, I have a huge feeling Ryu Ga Gotoku is going to have a lot to say about these old characters. So, it's going to be crazy. We're going to need those games Kiwami. Like, right now, Sega. And this is something too, okay? So, when you play this part originally on PlayStation 3, I remember seeing this scene, and I remember looking at it, and just saying, I wonder what all this stuff would be like if it moved a little bit better. because it kind of looked like a blur, especially when throwing the ball. I mean, maybe not on all TVs, maybe just mine, because I did play it on one of those big fat TVs that the PlayStation 3 was built for. But even just looking at this now, it looks like in this new resolution, everything's going to look a whole lot better. I mean, you can see vividly the facial features more. Haruka kind of looks a little bit more like Haruka does in the new games. At first I was always like, why did they change Haruka's appearance so much? But now that we're seeing this in, 1080p, it really doesn't look like they changed her appearance all that much. And it looks like you can really tell with Kiryu that, his facial features are moving, his beard's coming in, well, he never really had a beard. But it really looks like they did a whole overhaul. Hold on, let me go back. Let me go back just a little bit further. See, that's what I was talking about. On PlayStation 3, whenever you play the game, Kiryu looks like he's all wide and broad and kind of like, a Lego. But it looks like now, in the new resolution, they've had to switch some of the things in it because they are adding things to the game that wasn't in it initially. Like, I do know that there are new hosts being added, and I know there are more stuff being added, and maybe in the American version, they're going to have all the stuff that got cut out. So even though they are calling it a remaster, there are things they changed in it for a fact. So I do think they did change Kiryu's model a little bit. I think they made him just a little bit more narrow, just to make him have a little bit more of a human appearance instead of, the appearance that we had before with him looking like a Lego. Another thing that I've noticing as I've been watching this part, pay attention to the animations. I don't know if you caught that. We're going to watch it again. Let me turn down the speed to 0.25. And let's see if you catch that. If you didn't play the original Yakuza 3, you probably didn't, catch it. But watch through and see. See if you catch it. Did you catch it? Did you catch it? Did you catch it? Okay, so in Yakuza 6, here you had these animations where you could see the individual fingers and stuff move, right? And you could see, hair flying everywhere and stuff. And in Yakuza 3 on PlayStation 3, those little animations were not there. I remember when Yakuza 6 first launched, everyone was talking about how crazy it was, that there was all these mini little features. Watch it again and see if you catch it. Watch his hand. Watch his hand. Did you see it that time? Because we're not watching the game. You gotta go back on your own if you want to see that. But they fixed it. They added those animation tweaks into the original game. And that's... it's a whole overhaul. It's a remaster, but it's looking every day that it's going to be more of an overhaul than a remaster. And honestly, that's exactly what we need. Let me just click so I can see the previews again. There's something else I wanted to show. Yeah. Let me go back to this part when it shows the hostess. You can see that the distance draw in the game is so much better than it used to be. Look back here, right? Look at these women back here, the hostess girls. And look way back here in the back, right? Watch these lights and watch those girls. I should probably go back and slow it down again, just so you can see it better. But it's so okay, now watch in the back. You can see everything moving around. That you can see the hair physics, you can see the jiggle physics, you can see it all. This video is gonna get demonetized, I can guarantee it. But watch. You can see it. It's so this game is more than a remaster. This game's an overhaul and a remaster. If more games got remastered like this, we wouldn't even need remakes. There's another part that shows the distance draw too. Let me see if I can find it the quick way again. Actually, there was something I wanted to touch on this now. With this being in a more remastered manner now, you can literally see the detail in the drawing, which you couldn't see before. And look at Kiryu's hands, okay? You see his fingernail, you see the white spot on his fingers. That's real stuff. And not many video games back then had that. And that's kind of crazy because Yakuza, in a way, set every single video game trend that you see today way back then. They even had fingernail details way back on PlayStation 2. So it's really, really, really insane at the fact that they got all this stuff, hands down, right the way it needed to be. I'm impressed. I'm really, really impressed. And one thing I never noticed is they got the amateur drawing techniques into this photo, because you can see some of the lines are darker than others. So you can really tell that this was drawn by a little girl or someone new to art. So I'm excited to see all the stuff that's going to end up changed, because obviously we're not seeing all the stuff that changed. Okay, this is Kiryu's dad figure. I always considered him his dad, even though it's not really his dad. But you can look at his face and see that in the upscaled version, it looks so much better. And the original PlayStation 3 version, everything looked kind of squished together. I mean, the ears still looks kind of rough, but everything, with it being drawn out and having, double the pixels, everything's looking a lot better, a lot more crisp. For those of you that didn't know, Kiryu is running from the cops because he got caught looking at Loli. You can see so much more detail. You can even see the skin detail that you really couldn't see in many games back then. Yakuza is like a testament of time. It did everything way before. Okay, this shows the draw distance too. The draw distance in this game is absolutely insane. We're going to just start it from here. The draw distance on PlayStation 3 was not this good. Let me just turn the sound off. Okay, watch as the glass falls. You can see it all the way up in the back. The draw distance is insane. You can even see the top of the building. You could not see the draw distance that good on the initial PlayStation 3 version. So this remaster might be more than a remaster. Okay, hold on. Let me skip through a little bit further. Okay, back to what I was talking about with the lights earlier. Watch through this. All the lights look so much better. Even look back there, right? The mountains don't look that great, but the draw distance that's showing up this time around is insane, because this was just a blurry mess on PlayStation 3. So they definitely increased the draw distance. They definitely increased the draw distance. I think they fixed the animation here. Oh yeah, see, that's more of what I'm talking about. You can see the draw distance so much further now than you could before. Like, it was never perfect, but it doesn't get blurry till you look at that back there. It used to start getting blurry about right there. I spent so much time in the golf section of this game. Literally, like, it was night and day just playing the golf section. I didn't, like I said earlier, I didn't do a lot of the hostess stuff. I didn't do a lot of the mini games, but I did play a lot of golf in this game. A whole lot of golf. There's something I wanted to take note of here, actually, with the hostess. They put the names in English, which that's not, something that changed, but I always thought it was weird. The entire game was in Japanese. The entire game. But, the names were written in English. It never made sense. Like, this one, I could understand being written in English, because there's not really a way to say that in Japanese, unless you do it in, what's it called, katakana. But it wouldn't really look all that cool in katakana. So it's kind of weird. And I think I always thought it was kind of weird too, that they had multiple girls with the same name, right? But I guess that's just kind of me. That's really not anything different. The textures to the wall is definitely improved. You can pick up the little detail, like right there on the little, I guess, skin lotion bottles. Everything looks so much more detailed, so much more crisp, even though I know it's just a remaster. So we're obviously going to be able to see a little bit more, and the graphics are going to be a lot better, but it's just insane. Huh. Like, I don't understand. Some of it looks brand new, like these eyelashes. I do remember I did do one hostess thing. I don't remember the eyelashes being that intense on PlayStation 3. Let me see if I can find anything else in here that could be, pay attention to detail. I don't know. I don't think there's any other paying attention to detail kind of thing, but there are updates in animations, and from what I can gather, there is updates in minigames. Out of all the minigames I've played in Yakuza, one I always overlooked was karaoke. I don't know why, but in Yakuza 1, 2, 3, and 4, I always overlooked it. I didn't karaoke until Yakuza 5. I didn't karaoke at all in Yakuza Kiwami. I have never karaokeed in Kiwami 2. And I didn't karaoke much in 0. But Yakuza 6, that was literally all I did after I finished the game for like the good first year after that. And now with the American release, I'm playing back through it again several times, twice now actually. And I'm doing so many of these little karaoke stuff. I'm honestly quite impressed. Pay attention to the jiggle physics. They've been removed. Just kidding. Okay. Oh wait, why'd it go like that? You didn't need to go like that. That was rude, YouTube. Look at the draw distance here. See, I'm a video game design major, so I might notice things that other people might not. But look at the draw distance, how far this goes. This was always unusual for PlayStation 3 games to have a draw distance that was this wild. You can even see back there, all the way back there. I actually can't see it that well. It looks like it says Tani, but I might be wrong. Because it's still a little bit pixeled way back there, but it looks like it says Tani. But I'm so impressed that you can actually make out what's being written now. It makes my heart warm. God, it's so exciting. Okay, I want to see if we notice a difference in the whole animations right here. Not exactly. It does look like the individual finger animations are the thing in the battles as well, not just the quick time events, which is really cool. And it looks like the people in the background, although this is kind of a bad place to pause it at, it looks like they have an updated animation system as well. The whole, facial animation thing, it's fixed by a lot. This is something else I never understood about the Japanese version of the game. Why is this all in English? It never made any sense. Like, everything here is in English except for their style. That's it. That's it. Another thing I never understood either is why they always use centimeter heights and kilograms, especially when it's in English, because the majority of English-speaking countries use feet and pounds for, height and weight. That's not really anything that matters, but it's always kind of cool. And this is something else I want to notice. Blood type 0, that's a very rare blood type. One thing I want to note about Kiryu's blood type being 0 or O, whatever you want to call it, I always just call it 0, is that's actually considered a warrior blood type. Because for those of you who don't know this, I'm an indigenous American. Before we came to America, we were all in Japan, and we just came across from Japan and Old Japan. Old Japan is now known as East Russia. So we all came from there across the ice into here. So we all almost exclusively have a blood type 0. And blood type 0 is also, it's a universal blood donation. A blood type someone with blood type 0 like myself and Kiryu, we can donate blood to anybody. We're the universal blood taker, or the universal blood giver, I guess. And that's kind of interesting that Kiryu is blood type 0, because Kiryu is kind of like the universal good guy. He helps everybody. Even if they're a bad guy, Kiryu helps them, and Kiryu never gives up. And Kiryu always believes that people can change and be good. So that's kind of really one of those little small attention to details that they give to Kiryu by giving him blood type 0 that is actually really, really cool. Oh my god. I just got a goosebumps right down my back again. I don't even know why. This is the second time I watched this all the way through. But that was the analysis, and that's honestly, it's kind of insane. It's kind of insane what people are saying about it. And what I'm noticing that, I never noticed before about this. I'm just kind of curious, what does other people say? So Chris, please sing this westward and the others. You will have all my money. Well, he's not wrong. We will be definitely giving him the money, the dineros, because everyone wants this game. Everyone wants this game. I'm going to import it because I don't feel like waiting, but everybody wants this game, and it's really, really crazy. Please send this game westward uncensored. You guys can have all money. Yes, times a billion. That's what I was hinting at earlier when I said things are being changed, because apparently in the westward release, this is just a rumor. This isn't, proven or anything, but apparently those games are being brought in the full versions to the United States, because initially the American version of the game was missing about 30% of the game. So that's kind of crazy that we're going to be getting the entire versions here in an English translation, which isn't really all that special in and of itself. But if you can't speak Japanese, you can't understand Japanese, it's a really, really, really good way to get to experience it all over again in the actual game. 60 FPS game, 30 FPS trailer. What's this man talking about? I was actually quite disappointed with the trailer. I hope the game isn't like this. What is this man talking about? Kiryu's animations and stuff is so different. His body is so much more narrow compared. You know what? People are just going to complain no matter what. Next time when someone says the single player games are dead, shove a bat up their mouth and a table on their rear end. In true Majima fashion. Well, he's right. Why no Ken-san? Because Japan doesn't want to give the American audience Ken-san, because they think the American audience doesn't care about the Japanese tradition, the Japanese history, which makes no sense, because literally every game in American history goes to Japan. Assassin's Creed 3 went to Japan, and it was one of the more popular games that year. Please do a Kiwami of 3, 4, and 5 after these have been done, please. There will be a Kiwami, but not until PlayStation 5. And it's kind of, weird to, suggest that. Couldn't even make the video 60 FPS. Sega remains as incompetent as ever. I think this guy's dumb. This guy's really dumb. Mr. Toaster Ninja. Yeah, here's your little 164 subscribers. See, YouTube does not allow videos in 60 FPS. I don't understand what this guy's talking about. YouTube automatically samples everything down. Everything gets sampled down automatically by YouTube. So this trailer, it's in 60 FPS. The game we're watching is in 60 FPS, but the trailer is in 30. So I just wanted to check out a little bit about what people are saying about the game, see if people are excited, this, that, and the other. And it looks like people are pretty excited. And I'm one of those people. One more chance to look at the hostess. Because these hostess animations, they're honestly so much better. And going back to the draw distance one last time before we end this video. Look at the faces. It's not perfect, but you can see the faces from a distance. And that's huge when it comes to these games. It's huge. But yeah, I just wanted to watch this trailer, kind of react to it, give an analyzation of it, and then see what people were thinking about it, what people were saying in the comments. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, my name is CRUZANDO. Try not to die. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you would like to see more analyzations of trailers, let me know in the comments down below, and I will see you in the next video.